Join me today as summer decorating continues. Hey, it's Becca. Welcome to my channel. This is what our living room looked like the last time I gave it a little refresh. And here's what it's looking like today. A nice blank slate that's ready for a summer refresh. But before I start decorating, let's chat about this furniture configuration for a minute. As you saw before, I had the love seat here, the sofa table was behind it, and then these two chairs were flanking the fireplace. It was a very cozy configuration, but I wanted to open it back up again. I've had this arrangement here before, so I've got the love seat by the window, balanced by the two chairs angled in, and I like how if you're standing in the right spot, that chair blocks that lovely air return, which I need to get one of those decorative grates to cover it. And then I pushed the sofa table over against the wall. I've never had it there before. I usually have another piece of furniture or I have another love seat here, but I'm using everything in other places and I don't want to go shopping. So this is a use what you have video. And then on the bookcases, I'm going to keep the baskets. They're just an easy go-to. And the mirror is going to stay as well, only because it is really heavy and my husband's at work and my son is asleep and no one's around to help me take it down. So we're just going to leave it there. Maybe I'll do something different for fall. But in case you're new here, this wall was blank. It was empty. And the first thing we did was buy that faux fireplace off Facebook Marketplace. I then added the shiplap. And then eventually, a couple years later, we bought the Billy bookcases. And I fancied them up a little bit by adding trim and molding. And then the battery-operated picture lights. I also changed out the knobs. And it was just a good way to fill this wall and hopefully give it somewhat of a custom look. And also, last weekend, my husband and I went to IKEA and I got new curtains for this room. You can see they've got like a linen pattern, texture, and they're very light and airy. And I got them because I ended up moving the curtains that were in here into another room. So now that we've chatted about this space, I'll start decorating section by section and show you what I'm working with. Let's start with the bookcases. I think I mentioned earlier, I'm leaving the baskets only because they're an easy go-to. I know I'll switch things up for fall, but I just like having one at the top and the bottom because of the way they balance the bookcase. If I had an extra shelf, I'd probably have basket, empty, basket, empty, basket. That's how slightly obsessed with symmetry that I am. And to the bookcases, I'll be adding a couple of these faux florals. I got these at IKEA last weekend. I have a few more scattered around the house. I just love their detail. They look pretty real. And the containers are from IKEA as well. I'm not able to link them, but I did link some similar down below in case you don't have an IKEA nearby. And then I have a few of these books, had them several years. I love their canvas spine. This would be a pretty easy DIY. Minus the French writing, all we would need is drop cloth. So maybe we'll do that with fall coming. That would be a really pretty addition to your bookcases or coffee tables, etc. I'm gonna add in a few bowls as well. They're such a great filler for your bookcases. So if you've got some hiding in your kitchen cabinets that you don't use on a daily basis, add them to your bookcases too. And then for a little bit of ambiance, I'll be adding these candle holders. I love their pretty design on the bottom. You can never go wrong with candles in your bookcases. Now, of course, I have to add color, so I'll be bringing in a bit of blue to tie in with the rest of the house and display a couple of these plates. I love this pattern. It's so classic. And I think I found these at HomeGoods, but I will link some down below in case you don't have a HomeGoods nearby, or you do, but they don't carry them. And then to continue the blue, I have a couple of these ginger jars, again from HomeGoods. I will link some similar down below. I think they'll tie in nicely with the blue willow plates. And then lastly, to give a nod to my love for the beach, I'll be adding a little bit of coral. You know, I think adding coral or a coastal accent in any room at any time of the year is always classic and beautiful. almost done, although I did a little bit of tweaking. I ended up taking one of the books underneath the bowls, which, by the way, I know I showed you the smaller bowls in the beginning, but I ended up going with the larger ones because I didn't like the scale of the smaller ones with the coral. It was too close. So I just wanted something a little bit bigger. But anyway, I took one of the books underneath them and placed it under the plant just to bring balance that way. And see, then I have my blue and my blue there. I love doing a diagonal pattern. I feel like it gives you an asymmetrical look, yet it satisfies my need for symmetry. Bookcases are done, so now let's do something about the mantle. Now, with fall coming up, and I know I'm going to be accessorizing a lot, like more is more, I'm going to keep it pretty simple for summer just to give your eye a rest. The things that I have on hand, I'll be bringing in a couple of these ceramic jugs, both florals, and I chose these because they resemble the ones in the bookcases. And a little bit of faux greenery. I like these because they're really wispy, almost reminds me of seagrass, which will tie in with the coral. Candle holders and my favorite battery operated candles. This wood bowl that I found many years ago, I think at Big Lots. It was a dark wood, but of course I painted it. Now, of course, we have to add in a little bit of blue, so I'll be using a few of these porcelain orbs. I have these left over. I have some in our family room, so I'm glad I didn't use all of them in there. Moving on to the love seat and accent chairs, want to bring in a bit of texture and of course color. And I'll do that by adding a throw, white pillows, one of these wheat lumbar pillows, and I have a few of these beautiful blue and white pillow covers. I recently found those and I'll link them down below in case you've been looking for something like these as well. Coffee table, I'm going to do one simple vignette starting with this woven tray or basket. I like how the texture matches that of the baskets on the bookcases. And then a blue and white dish towel just casually draped over for a little bit of color. An oversized book. I still need to get the sticker off. That's from Goodwill. And then a shell bowl full of beautiful shells. Along, let's do something over here. It's going to involve a mirror, lamps or one lamp, greenery, and a little bit of blue and white. With the mirror in place, now I want to add a lamp, but I also want to add a coastal accent. So I'm going to marry the two. First thing I'm going to do is place this piece of coral down. And then I'm going to plop my favorite glass lamp right over top of it. See, I'll show you a better view in a minute. But I love those lamps for that reason alone, that you can add things up under it to suit your style or the season. And I really like how these shades tie in with our new curtains. And And then in the middle, I'm going to place some books and a larger blue willow plate. And I know I sound like a broken record when I say this, but now it ties it all together. And now greenery in a simple white pitcher. Unfortunately, I didn't have any of the same greenery that I used on the mantle, but I feel like this lighter eucalyptus is close enough in color and wispiness that it works. I could leave this spot empty just, to give your eye a visual rest, but I don't like that you can see the cord over there, so I'm gonna add something. I thought I was done, but I'm not. I don't like this blank space by the love seat. I need to add something to balance with the wood on the other side. So I brought up this little accent table that could definitely use a fresh coat of paint, a piece of coral that matches that I just used on the sofa table, and a matching lamp. Now, I would love to add a small woven charger underneath, but the ones I have are too big. It would fit here, but it wouldn't fit on the sofa table, so I'm just gonna leave this like it is. A couple of last minute additions, and I think I'm done. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I'll be back either next week or the week after that with my summer home tour. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.